Welcome to my channel, Mixed Bag, where variety is the fun of life. Today, we're going to delve into a fascinating topic that's sure to spark some interesting conversations. So, let's get right into it. The people in the next clip traveled to Israel during a time of great danger. Why did they make this journey? Do you believe they are indigenous to the Australian continent as they claim? What is the real reason behind their presence in Israel? Now, let's watch the clip and see what you think.
Across now to Jerusalem were former Labor Senator Nova Peris and Chris Baker from New South Wales Education are stranded and are hiding at a bomb shelter. They both join us now. Nova, I'll start with you. Tell us why you're in Israel and what's happening right there on the ground.
Yeah, thank you. We actually have been here for almost 9 or 10 days. I actually came out as I was a recipient of one of 4 global recipients from Technion University that had achieved an award in for fighting anti-Semitism. I do the things that I do. I've always fought against all forms of racism, but I've done a lot to try and, do my best as someone who has a profile in Australia to support the Jewish community and bring down the outrageous, incredible Jew hatred that we have here in Australia.
Nova, thank you for all you do as a member of that community. It's Caroline here. I just wanted to ask, what is happening right now where you are? You're obviously in a bomb shelter. What do you know about this latest attack?
Well, actually, I might hand this over to Chris. Chris is here. He's one of 7 First Nations people that are here on a delegation. He's been here with me for the past 7 days, and actually that's a bomb alert that's going off now. We get these alerts quite often when we have to seek shelter in the bomb shelter, but Chris might want to just talk about your time here. It's your first time here to Israel.
Yeah, it's my first time to Israel, and I was invited to come over with Nova really to see both sides of the conflict, and as it turns out, everything's erupted, of course, with Iran. What's happening outside at the moment, you might be able to hear alarms going off, is that they're warning systems. And so that tells the local population and us this evening, of course, that there are incoming missiles. Earlier this evening, I saw a series of missiles from my balcony. It was in the distance, so it wasn't affecting this area and the alarms weren't going off, but it's real and it's happening. And Iran is they're bombing civilian areas. We can actually hear deep grumblings outside now from the bomb shelter that we're in. So we don't know exactly what's happening outside, but there are certainly missiles being sent through, and hopefully they're being taken down by the defence systems.
Nova and Chris, and ask you both this question. Maybe we'll start with you, Nova. But when you are out of the bomb shelters, because obviously, there's plenty of times when the area is not under attack, what is the mood of the people on the ground? Are the people you speak to feeling resilient? Are they supportive of keeping the conflict going? Do they understand, why the government's rationale is for pursuing this campaign against Iran? Tell us what you're hearing and seeing and really feeling. What's the vibe of the place, Nova?
Well, it's interesting. Like I said, it's my second time now to Israel, and the Jewish people, they just want peace. This is their homeland. There's me as a First Nations woman. How we know our connection to land is through archaeological evidence. And, there's undisputable evidence of the Jewish connection to the land of Israel that dates back 4,000 years. The Jewish people, living through the diaspora and the exile of every, the Babylonians, the Romans and the Ottoman empires. And of course, we saw, the Holocaust, where 6 million people were killed. The Jewish people have come back to their homeland. And as a First Nations woman, when you look at what decolonisation looks like, this is what the Jewish people have done. But the Jewish people, their neighbours, they just want peace. And people don't actually realise here in the land of Israel, and I've said it many times, it's It's a third of the size of Tasmania. There's 2 million Arab Israelis that live within Israel, have all the freedoms. And then, what's happening, we're seeing now, Chris, is that we've got the West Bank, and we've driven several times through the West Bank. There's 3 million Arab Palestinians that live there. And, the Israeli defense system is protecting them and their lives, because what we're seeing is that the ballistic missiles are targeting civilians right across Israel, right across the West Bank, and we are relying on the Iron Dome. And what we have seen now is Israel, it's been 20 years in the making, for them to attack Iran, to actually dismantle their nuclear weapons development. And they are doing this on behalf of the world. What we know now, that they had enough nuclear for 15 nuclear warheads. It's unbelievable, and people really have to understand the history, that the Jewish connection of this land, but they want peace. And you talk about resilience, and we spoke to, there's about 100 young Jewish people that are here from America. And there's one young lad, he said to me, he said, Nova, you've got little 2-year-olds in bomb shelters, 4-year-olds in bomb shelters. And this is the resilience of the Jewish people. They've had to do that. The Jewish people love life. They are protected. The Israeli government built bomb shelters so they can go and protect themselves when, they're fighting wars on several fronts, from Hezbollah and the Houthis and now the Iranian regime. So it's incredible to be here, to understand the life of the Jewish people, but to understand this isn't an apartheid state. They're a democracy in the Middle East. And they want to be able to live peacefully with their neighbours. And we've seen that with Jordan. Jordan have actually shot down, the missiles that are also coming from Iran. So, they've got a peace treaty with Jordan. They've got a peace treaty with Egypt. And this can be done. And where were we just a couple of days ago when we had a bit of freedom? You might want to talk to that, Chris, where the young Muslim man who was the mayor, and you can talk to that if you like, where we went that day.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of answering your question, the Jewish people, as Nova said, are incredibly resilient. And despite everything they've gone through, and despite everything they're currently going through, they are still able to manage to hold themselves with dignity and hold themselves with pride. The overwhelming theme over the last 10 or more days since I've been here is the desire and deep wish for peace in the Middle East coming from the Israeli people, and the tremendous ability for them to be able to forgive. And they desperately want the war over. They desperately want the Palestinians as well as Jewish people to live in this area together in peace.
Absolutely. What we all want to see is peace. Fantastic insights there. We thank you both for your time. Get home safe. Nova Perez, Chris Rala.
Do you believe their story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the discussion respectful and open-minded. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.